Hello, beautiful. Welcome to today's Own It Challenge. For the month of April, I am challenging you to take one step of action every week towards your personal growth and development because we all know that faith without works is dead. So you got to actually take some steps towards the place. Good morning. Steps towards the place that you say you want to go. And that is just, slowing down and giving things time to grow or produce. Every great thing, every great investment takes time. Hey, how you doing? Every great investment takes time to grow. So let's put it like this. Your healing, right? Your deliverance, your new mindset. Do you think that's just going to happen overnight? Do you think that's just going to happen because you listen to one, Tiff, I seen you. Hey, girl. I ain't seen you in forever. So it takes time. And I want to say that, and I want to create space where you can process that because I think in this environment, in this culture we're in, is very, very fast paced, right? It's fast paced. It is, and it's designed that way because when you're anxious and you're afraid, you got to make a quick decision, right? You got to make a quick decision. But I want you to get really good at slowing down because every quick decision is not necessarily the best decision for you. Okay, so give things time. If you want to take this like real basic and just look at your life. So let's take away all because we are some educated people. We are smart. We are wise. You are smart. You are fine, right? Yes. We're all those things, right? We are. We are definitely those things. But let's take a step back and look at the simplicity of creation just for a second. The way that God, good morning, the way that God created us, right? Do we have to do anything for this development, this growth process? Right? We're born. Look, let's take it to the womb. We're conceived in the womb, right? What did we do to do that? What did we do to spark this process? This thing, it was moving from the beginning, okay? We are born, we go through a development process, right? So we're an infant, then you pop up, the baby like 3 months. Next thing you know, the baby's walking. Next thing you know, the baby's talking. Next thing you know, you're going through elementary, you're going through middle school, you're going through high school, college, and now whatever you've been through, here you are today. Okay, you did do things as far as going to school and learning, right? But I'm saying that growth process, that was innate. That was already from the beginning. In fact, if you don't grow developmentally, that's a problem. That's not normal, right? Ooh, you bought to make me jump out of my skin. Look, that is happening whether we like it or not. What is our responsibility is what we do with that growth process, how we steward it, how we care for it. Right now, this is where our personal accountability comes into place. But the movement of that thing, the progression of that thing, that's God's business. And we gotta slow down because you see what fast pace does? It makes us miss what's literally happening right in front of our face. Seasons, do we control that? Do we control, and don't get deep because I could just hear somebody now, well, technically science can, yeah, you get the point of what I'm saying, right? Grass growing. Do we, trees, right? These are processes that are in place just like clockwork. Okay? So the real question is, what are we going to do with this growth that God has given us? What are we going to do with it? And I want to tell you, you got to learn how to give it time. You have to. You'll squander stuff if you don't. You have to learn how to take a step back and think for yourself. That's one of the scariest things, right? Why? I don't know. Do we not want to be wrong? Do we not want to be judged? I don't know. But we have to learn how to think for ourselves. Get trusted advisors, yes. Get trusted advisors for sure. If somebody was to give me, I always forget this guy's name. Jeff Bezos gave him $100 million. He's a brother, black man. And I just went to a leadership conference and he was there speaking. And he said, when he got this money, Bishop Jakes asked him, what did you do? He said, I fell on my knees and surrendered and I cried out to God. I was terrified. And I felt that so much. You know, so many people talk about expansion like it is such a, an exciting thing. And it is, don't get me wrong. But if you're really self-aware and you're in the moment, that's a great responsibility. Right? And so he said he got trusted advisors. He got people who knew what to do with money. Right? He got people who are used to seeing big, large sums of money, who for them it was not scary. Why? Because they had the experience. They had already gone through the process, but he didn't just give them the money. Listen. Okay? He got their advising. He didn't give them his opportunity. He said, here, I have this opportunity. I want to hear from you how you would do this. And together, he's built a team around the best way to execute this vision. But he's never lost in his mind that he's the visionary behind whatever it is that they're building. This is what you get when you take ownership of the process, including your thoughts, and why you can learn how to make peace with giving it time. What's pushing you? Is it your ego? Is it your fear? Sometimes we got a fear like, okay, this ain't really hitting how I thought it was going to hit. Or this is kind of like barren and I'm expecting for it to be full. So how do I function? I don't know what to do in this barrenness. I don't know what to do in this season where it's looking like I'm giving everything I got, God, and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Says who? Says you and your limited perception of things. How do you not know that God is using this process? Make peace with giving it time. Whole word today. Girl, listen. Whole word today. For me too. We got to make peace with giving it time, because in that time, and we actually already talked about this that day on our Clubhouse. It's like in that time, how do we not know God is not stretching us? There's some thinking that has to be stretched before we can receive expansion. And that is the grace of God. Let me tell you. It's the grace of God. That actually is a confirmation that God believes in you and he's with you if he's making you wait. Right? Because, dang God, you really want me to win at this. You really don't want me to fail. Because you're making sure that I am learning what I need to learn before I enter in. What a blessing. What a blessing. But what accountability that takes. What self-awareness that takes. Right? This is a big deal. This is why I'm so intent on accountability. You see, I'm your growth and accountability coach because they go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. The more you start really going on your process, you start realizing people don't have to tell you things. It's almost like you start speaking another language, right? Before you put your hand to the plow and start doing your own personal work, you kind of like everybody else. You kind of like googly-eyed, looking at all these things that you want, looking at all these things you desire, and you kind of like on the outside looking in, and you're lusting for it, right? The minute you make a decision to get accountable in your own life and start working on your own stuff, you start realizing what it is that everybody else thinks they see. When you hear leaders talk, a lot of times you'll hear them say, ask people about their process. Don't ask people about their stuff. Ask them about how they got to the stuff. Because those steps, that's what you really need to know. And you need to understand that those were their steps. This is personal. It's unique to you. Okay? This personal accountability is helping you learn you. All that I'm bored, all of that I don't know who I am, all of that I don't hear from God, that's because you're not doing the work. Isn't that crazy? I could be right here today. I can be present here in front of you, but I could be disconnected from what's real about me and my own life. Why? Because I'm not grabbing a hold. I'm not owning it. And I tell you guys all the time, the greatest people we hear and read about and are receiving what they're producing, these people have been through some stuff. Slept in their cars. You ain't the only one who been broke. You ain't the only one who been in pain. You're the only one who's went through chronic illness. You're not the only one who's been frustrated. You're not the only one who's dealt with depression. People are to reach your promise. You're gonna go through some things. You're gonna go through some things, but that grit and those guts that you develop through the process, baby, that's what you need to keep it. That's what you need to keep it. Okay? So we got to get grounded. We got to get roots. And just like a tree, we have to learn how to give things time to grow. And I want to say, I'm going to close on this. I want to say the more we do that, the healthier relationships we'll have as well, because we'll have something called respect. You can't have a relationship without respect. Okay? Respect shows up in how we speak to one another, how we handle one another, right? Our true intentions and our thoughts towards one another. And it's really, really hard to respect something that you don't relate to, you can't understand, you have no frame of reference to. See, when I see a woman, it's instant respect because I don't have to know you. I know that you may have children. If you don't have children, you probably caring for somebody. You may be married. You may not be married, but I'm not married, but I could just imagine if you're committed in a committed relationship, that probably takes another level of you, right? If you are working a job, I understand what that's like. I go to work, if you have a dream and you're building something, wow, I understand what that's like because I'm building. So it's instant respect. I don't need to know your life story. You get respect from me off top because I'm a woman. So if you frown, I'm not taking that personal, girl. You might be having a hard day. Right? If you don't want to be bothered, I get it, sis. Some days I don't either. I'm not holding that against you, and I'm definitely not holding it against me. It's love, right? If I see a man, respect, man. Because I know I'm difficult. So if you're dealing with a woman, wow, shout out to you, brother. And you're a good man too? Hey, man, shout out to you, right? It's instant respect. Dang, you got to get up every day and go to work? Okay, I understand how that is. Yeah, okay. Where is see, if we can't be accountable, man, we are in the sky. Like we're treating people as a means to an end. If they don't do what we want to do, we cut them off, right? Don't say what I want you to say, I'm cutting you off, right? Don't look how I want you to look. I already made up in my mind who you are. Do you know how unfair that is? We don't want people to treat us that way. Give it time. If it's a bad apple, you don't have to make an announcement. It will be proven over time. Give it time. Give things time, you guys, okay? Give it time. How do you do that? Let me practical and then I'm gone. Practical. How do I do that? By being present. What's beautiful about right now? Right? I may not have it all together, but I got this lovely coffee and it's so good. I got this window I can look out of. I love windows. I'm grateful. Thank you, God. Now I got to me. You cannot give that to me. I got to sit here, be still, be present, and soak it in. If I can learn how to do that, if I can learn how to be grounded and rooted right where I am, Lord have mercy. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right because these circumstances, hardship, all that stuff, that's not going nowhere. So I can't latch my life onto that stuff, man. I'm not going to make it. I'm not built for that. God didn't create me to be God. I love that. The birds is chirping. Every time I hear a bird chirp, I think of, why you worry? Look at the birds of the air. They know neither sow nor reap. And look how your Heavenly Father takes care of them. How much more will He care for you? That's not contingent on anything outside of, that's something God says specifically to you. Now, will you grab hold of it? Will you believe it? I pray you do. So that's what I have for you today. During our Own It Challenge, I'm challenging you for the month of April to take one step of action. And tomorrow, I'm so excited. On our Pathway to Purpose episode, I am speaking with the lovely Claire of Homegrown Creative Studios. And Claire is a brand developer, and we're talking about the power of your personal brand. The power of your personal brand. Claire actually helped me rebuild my website. She is amazing. Super talented. But more than talent, this lady is beautiful. Like, her spirit is beautiful, a pleasure to work with. Okay, so I'm so excited to have her on and talk more with you guys about that. But that's what I got for you today. Until next time, continue to bloom wherever you're planted. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. And stay encouraged, okay? Stay encouraged. Love you. Bye-bye.